separate and aside from the Lord's Supper, the elders deemed this an appropriate time to give back what God has provided for us. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, 6 to 9. But this I say, he who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So let each one give as he purposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you, as always having all sufficiency in all things, may have an abundance for every good work. As it is written, he has dispersed abroad, he has given to the poor, he has, and his righteousness endures forever. Luke chapter 6, 38. Give, and it will be given to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. Mark 12, 41 to 44. Now Jesus sat opposite the treasury and saw how the people put money into the treasury. And many who were rich put in much. Then one poor widow came and threw in 2 mites, which make a quadrans. We don't really know how much that equals. But verse 43, so he called his disciples to himself and said to them, assuredly, I say to you that this poor widow put in more than all those who had given to the treasury. For all they put out of their abundance, but for all put in out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty put in all that she had, her whole livelihood. And then lastly, Acts chapter 2, verse 42 to 45. I'm in the wrong chapter. Hold on. All right, Acts chapter 2, 41 to 42 to 45. And they continued steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, in the breaking of bread, and in prayers. Then fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done through the apostles. Now all who believed were together and had all things in common. And they sold their possessions and goods and divided them among all, as anyone had needed. All these scriptures talk about somebody giving to God, and it was all something that they needed. We might need money. We might be a little slim on money, but we can always give to God. And giving back to God what he has provided for us is found throughout the Old and New Testaments. Giving to the church today is how we can pay for mission work, how we can pay with the upkeeping of the building, how we can pay for the staff, and how we can pay for class material for the teachers to teach the future generation of the church. It helps us host community events to reach out to our community. And there's so much more that our money goes to for the church. See, I'm so thankful for the elders here in the Northtown Church of Christ that know how to use our money to help God's kingdom. And very responsible with how we use our money. And giving, it should be something that we plan for, not something that we're scrambling to find some money in our wallet when the time comes. It's something that we plan for every single week. So I'm going to give you the 4 attitudes that should be in our minds when we give. We need to give thoughtfully. We need to give enthusiastically. We need to give voluntarily. And lastly, we need to give cheerfully. So as we do this contribution, we do it around the Lord's Supper. So let's still think about the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate debt that God gave to us. He gave us something that, as the song said, we can never repay. But we can use our money for the church and to give back what God has given to us.